It's a little bit misty this morning, actually, which reminds me of a stupid and very brief little story. Something that happened a couple of months ago. So Badger and I are in bed one morning, and I roll out, open the curtains, have a look into the garden, and it's misty. Right, it's misty outside, foggy. And bear in mind, I've been awake for like 5 seconds. I'm not exactly all there, right? So I wake up, swing my legs out, roll my fat ass out of bed, notice the fog and the mist. I turn around to Badger and say, looks like a fisty day. And so ever since, whenever it's been a little bit foggy, those days have been referred to as fisty days. So some of you may have heard of something called the Bestival, which is a giant festival, if you couldn't figure that out by yourselves, on the Isle of Wight, which is like a 4-day event. It starts on, I think, the 5th of September, is it? Thursday, and it goes on until Sunday, which means a little bit of traffic inconvenience, which we will run into this morning, actually, where they've dropped the national speed limit road down to 30 because you get inebriated toolboxes walking along it, and they get hit by cars. It's a road pretty similar to this, actually. No pavements, blind corners, and national speed limit, so it's really not the kind of road that you want to be walking on. So some of them die, which means the rest of us have to slow down a little. Which, okay, I get it, yeah, it's kind of fair enough. But how about don't fill yourself full of shit and then act like an idiot? You ever thought about that, maybe? And that got me thinking about a topic for today. Big parties, social stuff. Really doesn't do it for me, man. I've never been a fan of parties. Ever. The whole, yeah, party, woo! That's nothing for me. Never been interested. And I'm not entirely sure why, to be brutally honest. I'm not a shy dude. I don't have a problem meeting new people, talking to strangers. I tend to fit in relatively well. So I don't think it's like any kind of social awkwardness on my part. Well, apart from my disgusting sense of humour, I suppose. I just don't like massive crowds of people. I'm not generally a big fan of the human race. You know, we're a bit cancerous. We tend to fuck things up. There are way too many idiots. Way too many idiots. The ratio of intelligent people to dumb people is way off. Way off. The vast majority of people that you're ever going to meet are retards. Thank you. And that is a crying shame. So the whole big social gathering thing really turns me off. Really not my idea of a good time. I'd much rather go home with a bag of Doritos and a fucking drink of some kind and play some video games. I wouldn't exactly say that I'm a recluse either. I'm more than happy to go out for a drink with a couple of buddies somewhere maybe, but I gotta admit, I'd just rather chill out at home in the quiet and the calm. Just relaxed. I don't need that kind of bullshit in my life. You see it all the time, people going out, drinking, fighting, arguing, shouting in the street like animals. That's not my idea of fun. That's my idea of idiots. Retard behaviour. Because of people like that we can't progress. It just turns me off. I guess it doesn't really help as well that I really don't like being drunk. I really don't like the feeling. I hate not being in control of myself. It's scary. You know, think about all the good things that have broken down because somebody got drunk and did something stupid. Think about all the relationships that have ended because somebody got wasted and made out with somebody else. You know? But in my opinion, that's no excuse whatsoever. If you kiss somebody else, being drunk's not an excuse. That's a piece of shit thing to do, man. Oh, yeah, that is fisty. Yeah. And this would be more Bestival inconvenience. So, inebriation, another thing that turns me off. I'm more than happy to drink until I feel a little bit, you know, woo, a little bit, and then I stop. I don't need to be so drunk that I can't do anything properly. That fucking sucks. That's not fun. That's not a fun thing to do. That sucks. And one of the things that annoys me about that shit is people just say, oh, relax man, it'll get better, it'll get better. You do realise that eventually rape victims stop struggling, right? That doesn't mean that it got better. So stop telling me it's going to get better, thanks. This is the road that I was talking about earlier, the national speed limit that they dropped down to 30. I just don't really think there's any need to drop it to a 30 right now. I really don't think there's a point to doing it just yet, I really don't. On the day, sure. But like 3 days before, why? And for me, the same can be said for group rides. For example, and actually a perfect example, is this ride of the century thing that goes on in the States, where you get like hundreds of people on sport bikes mostly, squidding as we call it, with no gear on. But you know, riding down the freeway, doing wheelies and burnouts and stuff. They're the kind of dudes that give the rest of us motorcyclists a bad name by doing all that shit on public streets while there's people around. It's retarded. Stop doing it. But a massive group ride like that I will also avoid like the plague. I don't want to be sat at some traffic lights with some oik next to me with this bike sat on the rev limiter. The fuck are you doing? You look a total cunt, and you're making the rest of us look like total cunts as well. So there's this weird mentality, I think, with groups of people where the ones who think of themselves as slightly alpha, I guess, act like bellends because all of us sheep are going to be really impressed. I really don't understand at all. Badger is off to the festival, she's going to be camping there, so I'm not going to see her for like 4 days because I really don't want to go. So I'm going to be busy jacking off in every single room of the house, playing video games in my underpants, being generally disgusting. I'm going to be playing Metro Redux on PS4 quite a lot, I think. I bought that recently, it's pretty cool. Maybe play some more DayZ, that's a pretty badass game. Which reminds me, actually, I've been kind of thinking about doing the occasional gaming video as well. I'm not sure though. I really don't know. It seems like if I was going to do that, I almost feel like I would need either a separate channel or like a dedicated channel or something. Just seems a bit weird to me, doesn't it? You can just throw in the middle of a moto vlog channel just a couple of gaming videos. I don't know, I'm not sure. I might try it and see how it goes. Welcome to morning commute traffic. Sounds like this, having a motorcycle kicks ass. Ah, it's so beautiful. It's so beautiful. Filtering is so awesome. Yes it is, it's so awesome. Filtering, so awesome. Ah, lovely, look at that. That was nice. So, big parties, lots of drinking, loud music, idiot people. Nah, I'm good. I'd much rather surround myself with close friends and set up a fucking LAN party, man. Yeah, that's my idea of a fucking awesome evening. Lots of laughs, fun to be had, without worrying about being started on by some alpha oaf with his V-neck on and his fucking plimsolls and shorts. So, no thanks. I'll pass. Anyway, I've been Smo, you've been awesome. Peace.